The natural gas storage report, 10-minute trades trade room. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10-minute trades. Please don't forget that all trades are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. And if you're watching a live stream, please remember that live streams can be delayed. So don't trade live from a live stream unless you know what you're doing very, very well. All right. Let's talk about the natural gas report. So you know the old cliche, that statement that they make over and over and over and over. If you keep doing, what is it? You keep doing, you're crazy if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. What's that saying? You know the saying I'm talking about. If you keep repeating yourself, expecting a different result, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So 2 weeks in a row, natural gas has been trading really great for the whole year. Really, it's been trading very, very well for the whole year. But the last 2 weeks, natural gas has stopped us out on unbelievably fast moves. Even though the moves looked like winning trades, which is why the DMM said that last week was a winner. It was not a winner. But if you're just doing analysis on that particular report, it looked like a winner, but it was not. We know it wasn't because it was so fast in the room, it stopped me out. My rule is I will do 3 in a row. All right. I'm not Einstein. So I mean, but the point I'm making is my general rule is I will trade something over and over 3 times. 3 times is when I then change the way I'm going to trade something. If 3 times in a row, it doesn't work. If it's a normal good report, then I might just take a month off and just let it behave. Okay, that's all. That's all. I will not abandon natural gas or crude oil. I might take a few weeks or even months off from them. But my point is, those are reports that will move the markets. It's just the way it is. And there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it. Sometimes you'll get moves like we've had over the past couple of weeks that stop you out. I'll show you the videos. You know, we're totally honest in here. I'm not embarrassed to show you the videos. Let me just put the news up. You need to understand that if you're going to trade events, one of the possible risks is not every week. It's usually very rare. Every now and then, you'll get a report that's so fast, you'll get a result on a good report or a bad report. It's not related to the report, but you'll get a result that's so fast, no software could have kept up with it. It's not that there's something wrong with our software. Believe me, our software is awesome. And it has nothing to do with the software. What happens is if the market moves so fast, the software tries to place the stop. The stop winds up in the wrong position. It's usually above or below instead of, in other words, normally if you're going long, your stop is below. But what happens is the move is so fast, it doesn't get the stop below. It's above the price because the price moves so fast. So the software gets an error, and most commonly you'll get stopped out. You'll get an error and you'll lose money. But that's a risk that you take if you're going to trade events, and you can't be a baby, go cry in a corner and go, oh, I got stopped. It went through my stop. You know, I mean, think of all the positive natural gas trades we had. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's if you can't deal with that, you should not trade events. It's just like trading. If you can't deal with being stopped out, if you can't deal with losing money on 5 trades in a row, if you're a discretionary trader and you get it wrong for 2 days, then you shouldn't trade. I mean, that's just the truth. If every time you get in a car, you crash into someone else's car, should you drive your car? No. Use Uber, right? Use Uber. Uber will drive you around, or use Lyft, right? I mean, it's just common sense. So if you have to know with every kind of system that you deal with where the possible risks are. And if you can't take them, then don't trade. Do something else. Okay. Or there's another thing you can do. Trade the milder reports. There are reports that, because they're milder, they'll hardly ever do what we're talking about. But I've had Flash Manufacturing, which is a pretty mild report, just go so fast once that the software couldn't keep up with it. So, I mean, you just have to understand it happens. Just like sometimes you get negative slippage, sometimes you get positive slippage. These are things that you just have to be able to deal with. And if you can't deal with it, and I'm being serious, then do something else. Find something else to do. Because everybody knows, every grown-up knows that trading has risk, just like getting in your car has risk. There's no way to reduce risk 100%. Okay? So when I show you these videos, I would rather be honest and show these videos so you can learn rather than not show them, make believe it doesn't happen, and go on my merry way. Okay? So here's what happened the last 2 weeks on natural gas. I lost money. Now, the funniest story on natural gas is, besides that, last week, not only did I have a negative trade, when I was teaching in the trade room what not to do, I did what I shouldn't have done by accident on a chart that I couldn't see. And I rushed out of the trade room. And by the time I got to the chart, natural gas had moved against me $400. I was losing an extra $400 on last week's natural gas trade. Did I panic? Nope. I did not panic. Did I close the trade? Nope. I looked at my charts. I noticed that the squeeze signals were short. I was on the long side. I nursed the trade till it got down to a $30 loss from $400. I got greedy and I thought it was going to give me a profit, and it reversed and I lost $80. I made an $80 mistake instead of a $400 mistake. Things happen when you trade. Did I go crying in a corner? Yes. No, I did. I did. I punched myself in the stomach, but I did not go crying in the corner. But I was actually really happy that I turned a giant disaster into a minor loss, and then wound up making money on the bond report and the WASD report at the end of that day. And we had almost a $200 profitable day that day. $200 a day, $1,000 a week, $4,000 a month. Not a problem if that's how your trading goes. You know, it's all, I mean, I could have let my mistake stop me from trading the rest of the day. I could have had it destroy my confidence, destroy my psychology. And all I can say, and I'll say it 1,000 times, besides our software absolutely being the best aid for what we do, the most important thing that you can do is get your psychology right. Yes, of course, I want you to buy our software. I love our software. But if you get your psychology right, then you're going to do really well at anything that you do. If your psychology is bad, if you're worried all the time, if you're afraid all the time, you can't succeed. You just can't. So that's today's ridiculous lesson. It's not ridiculous. I think it's a good lesson. But I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm going to trade natural gas one more time. If it acts so fast 3 weeks in a row, then I know natural gas. This is the way natural gas used to be 2 years ago. It used to do this all the time. It was a report we never would touch. It went so fast, you couldn't, all you saw was a wick get drawn. And that caused an error because the software couldn't find the stop, and it stopped me out. Okay, so that was last week. It had time to draw the brackets, but the move was so bizarre, it just couldn't put the stop in the right place. So that happened. I got stopped. I mean, the reality is I didn't make money. I can't buy breakfast on that money from that trade room. Not a chance. I can't. It's not available. So you know, if you made money, you know it because it goes into your account. So you got to just do the right thing by yourself. So did I cry like a baby after that happened? No. I went on and we taught about reversals, and then, you know, you go on to the next one. It's just how it works. Just how it works. Let's look at natural gas 12.2, because that was my other troubled natural gas trade. I had 2 in a row. That's what I've said. 2 in a row. 3 in a row is my number where I change what I'm going to do. Now, it may not come up this week because next week is Christmas Eve day. I personally would probably trade natural gas anyway, even though it's Christmas Eve day, because it's a morning trade. It's still going to move the natural gas market. I want to look at the rest of the trades that day and see what else is going on. I have not made the schedule yet, but my point is, next week you want to be careful trading because we're into holiday trading right now. Okay. So I know I'm ranting a little bit. I'm yelling a little bit. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just want to make these points. I think that there are certain points that people totally lose sight of. They forget how important certain things are. Here was 2 weeks ago, natural gas. Also looked like an awesome trade. It moved beautifully, it looked like. However, I got stopped out. If you looked at that trade on a one range chart, you go to right click your chart, go to data series, and up at the top, data series, turn your minute chart into a one range chart. Range, and turn it into a one value. Apply it and okay it. Every little move that you can't see with the naked eye will show up with a one range chart. When I went to the one range chart on natural gas 2 weeks ago, you saw the move look perfect. It was not. It moved more than 10 ticks to stop me out, and you could only see it on a chart that allowed you to see every little move. And the minute chart or a 30-second chart does not always let you do that. And if KW is in the room, you got to check that FOMC trade that we said looked good on the NQ yesterday. You have to look at it on the one range chart also, because Chantal was looking at it on a one range chart and said she thought that there looked like there was a lot of movement. Sometimes what looks perfect on a minute chart is a stop out, okay? Because you can't always see with the naked eye a trade. Don't forget that. You got to sometimes go deeper into the charts to see what really happened, okay? This 1210 is not a win. All right. It's not a win. I already talked to my boss. He's going to fix it. I sent them the video. It is not a win. Okay. It's very important to understand the truth. So KW, you know, I'm just giving you a heads up. You know us well enough that what I'm saying could be true, because you know, you've been here long enough. You know the deal. You know I'm not picking on you. You know I'm just trying to keep you safe. That's all. So natural gas, I'll try it again because I'm Einstein, and I'll do the same thing over and over and over. No, I'll do it 3 times, like I said. If it does the same thing today, then I'll know that natural gas is now acting too fast. I'll wait till the first of the year. Well, it's only 2 more reports. Yes, 2 more reports. Day before Christmas, day before New Year's. I will pass on those. You might want to pass on those reports anyway because of holiday trading, and you don't always get the normal reactions that you do in regular trading times. Our entry time on natural gas is 10:29:59. Okay. I'm using 2 targets, one of 5 ticks, one of 10 ticks. I'm using a stop of 10. I would not automate natural gas in any way, shape, or form right now. If you think you can use a limit order to keep yourself safe, you cannot. It will jump the order if it's a limit order. That's why we don't use limit orders on events. A slow event, yes, you might be able to get away with a limit order. But a fast-moving event will jump your limit order. You will not get filled. I can't tell you how many great trades were missed by traders that thought they could outsmart the market by trading events with limit orders. So many, when I first got here, people were using limit orders on the jobs report. And I was making tons of money. And they were going, I didn't make any money on that report. And you just made like $500 on that report. How come I didn't make any money? And I said to them, did you use a limit order? And they said, yes. And if it moves really fast, it jumps the order. It just jumps the order. It happens all the time. A lot. It's not going to happen every single time, but it happens enough that you don't want to, when the market gives you money, you don't want to make it harder for yourself to take it. Bracket of 5. 1 target for 5 ticks, 1 target for 10 ticks, a stop loss of 10 ticks. My entry time is 10:29:59, and it's a breakout trade. Okay. I'm trading it for real. Now, I'm also going to set up a reversal trade. If price goes to the high of the day or the low of the day, I will take a reversal at those points. I don't think I'll do it anywhere else. Don't really expect that it will happen, to be honest. Hold on, folks. I don't expect it to happen. I have to be in the right account for this. But if it does go to those areas, those are good reversal areas. Okay. I'm up $37.50 from last night's trade. I lost $37.50 on this morning's trade. I was up $75 last night. It was a very difficult jobs report this morning. There was a lot of news. Philly Fed, jobs report, Thursday claims, and housing starts and building permits. The news was mixed. Housing news was great. The jobless numbers were not great. Philly Fed was late, so it was very difficult report to trade. So I closed it out with a tiny loss. On my reversal, I'm looking for, I'm just going to trade 1 position. I'm really just looking, if I can grab 15 ticks, I would happily take it. You got to risk 18 ticks at least on natural gas if you're going to do a reversal. With reversals, you don't have to worry about anything except position, number of contracts, which I'm just trading 1, target, and stop. That's all you have to. You can do other things on a reversal. And we're having a reversal webinar tomorrow. So if you'd like to come, because we now have a reversal option in the software, which helps you to take reversal trades. And that's what we're going to talk about in the webinar, new features on the software. Let me just label my reversal. Label and not be in sim. I want to be live. Watch what happens when you put the trade on. You get your buttons. Buttons are good for reversal. Why? Because it lets you enter the trade by clicking the button. If I want to go short, I just click the short button, and I'm protected by my software stops, targets. I don't have to write an ATM. We all know that it does take some skill to write an ATM. With our software, you do not have to write an ATM. That is a bonus. Okay. That's a bonus. We have one more trade this week. It's an unofficial trade. It's a Canadian report tomorrow morning. What is it? Canada retail sales tomorrow morning? No official report on that. It's strictly a reversal trade. Yeah, Friday, Canada retail. 7 o'clock in the morning, you have the Bank of England quarterly bulletin that we're watching. 4 in the morning, you got German IFO. That's a DAX trade that's been pretty small mover. Most people are not trading the DAX these days either. If investing.com wasn't so discombobulated, I would pay for the paid version with no ads. Going to time.is to make sure my time is in sync. But investing.com is so discombobulated, and I've had such terrible tech support experiences with them that I'm not dying. It's not that we're cheap and we don't want to pay the like $4 a month to get the ad-free version, but I just don't have faith that they're going to do a very good job of taking care of any problems I have if I'm paying for their service, as opposed to if we're not paying for it. So you understand that we have Financial Juice Pro going on in the background. I'm listening to that also. I want to show you a winning natural gas trade because we've had a lot of them over the past months. And that's my point. I'm not letting those 2 natural gas trades ruin my life. If I lose again today on a normal stop out, I might take the next 2 weeks off anyway and just do reversals. Okay. But whoops, hold on. But come the first of the year, I'll go back to natural gas. We've had 2 very unusual moves. If natural gas is changing and it's going back to the way that it used to, then that's fine. I'll change the way I'm going to trade it. Okay. So here is a quick, this should be a winner. Yeah, see, that was pretty fast, but it was still a winner. Sometimes a super fast move will work. Okay. Sometimes a super fast move will work. Why did I get so quiet? Because natural gas is, I want to be careful today. I'm not a stupid person. In other words, I've been warned over the past 2 weeks. Is anybody out there even listening to me? Is anybody out there? Okay. Bunch of comedians. Yes, but not listening. Hey, Chantal, I have to talk to you. Can you talk after the trade room? Or do you not have time? I have to ask you something. So if natural gas was to go down to the low of the day and the PP, I would have to take a long there. I would have to. Okay. I would have to. Because that's a great support. It's a great area of support. Okay. That's why. I'm just changing natural gas to ticks on my net change display indicator. Now, if I get a burst to the high of the day, it's a risky reversal, but I'll probably take it. Okay. Unless I'm stuck in a trade. Because remember, I'm doing the breakout also. So I may not have time to do the reversal as well. It may not give me the opportunity. I might still be in the trade. Okay. So we have 30 seconds. And the result, they're expecting a drawdown of 120. That's a lot. I'd be surprised if it's that big. Perfect trade. Now, that was too big a move, folks. I don't like that. You could take that reversal, but it's bursting through it. It's sitting there. I'm not comfortable. I'm sorry. It's probably going to work. Darn it. I'm the world's worst trader. No, I'm kidding. It's so tricky. Look, I made $200 almost in a second. And it's a good reversal candle, but look how far it went. I'm concerned because it kind of blasted off the chart. So I'm a little bit hesitant. I mean, it looks like it would have worked. I'll show it in the webinar. If I was just trading the reversal, I would have done it, but I made my money. I'm stubborn. And nope, let's be honest. I let my fear get me. And that's the hardest part of overcoming reversals. You got to lose the fear. I'm putting my chart. It's too late, right? I'm putting my chart in sim. It's now not the low of the day anymore. Do you follow me? That's now the low of the day. It made a new low. So, but you still have the PP here. And I still think the market is kind of recognizing this area. Let's see if it bursts through, but it's sort of bursting through. I'm going long in sim. Sim. Oh, God. I just did it again, right? I'm getting out with $20 because I'm an idiot. I did the same thing I did last week, and now, of course, it's positive. I made $130 on that trade because I just gave them 40. Okay. And it worked. So I made 100 and I lost 40 and made 130. All right. Don't forget, if you're in sim, I mean, I've done it twice. If I do it again, I'll quit. And look, now it's working. All I had to do is sit. It did honor the PP for the reversal, even though it was the second time. Okay. That's trickier. I would not take it a third time. But here's what's interesting is you did get a signal on, you got a signal on the 30-second squeeze signal that it was okay to take that long. It was okay to take that long. Okay. Okay to take the long. Did anybody trade natural gas with me? Anybody trade it with me? So I'm up 177 bucks on the day. I could have been up 212 other than making an error and not, what I should have done. Let's be honest. All right. Let's at least learn from me making a mistake. Instead of closing it so fast, I should have looked at the 30-second squeeze chart, saw that it had a long signal, and I might have hung on. Okay. I might have hung on. And then it did go up, and I could have gotten out flat or with extra ticks. So that's the proper lesson. And let's look at the video, because as Mark says, you have to be so fast to take a reversal. Let's look at that reversal in general. Okay. But that's why I traded natural gas today. You got to give a report 3 failures before you give up. Because if I gave up today, that was almost $200 in profit, right? It was almost $200 in profit that I would have let the market have. But instead, the market gave me 140 bucks in profit. I got 140 bucks in profit. I'll take it in a second, in 1 second. Watch. Because I explained that I let 3 bad trades in a row make me change, not 2. I was willing to take natural gas today normally. Let's watch the first trade, just the normal breakout trade. Not too fast, it fills. Then that burst concerned me. That's what concerned me. Then, instead of turning my chart to sim, when I was teaching, I hit the chart, and that put me in the trade when I didn't want to be. And that's why my 217 went to 177. Okay, it happens. No matter what, I'll still take the 130. We still have a trade tomorrow. The one trade I'm looking for is the 20-year bond. But look, the reversal is going to give you a second chance. Or do we miss it because we were talking? Let's go back. The original reversal is just way too fast. And remember what happened with crude oil when the move was that big. See, that was a really tough reversal. Why? because price stopped. Price stopped. Look, I would not have taken it there no matter what. It wasn't in my area. Now it's at my area, but it was such a strange move. Made me a little bit uncomfortable. It didn't dribble down there like I would have rather seen. It didn't go down in one candle, normal kind of move. It did that stop and hesitate at the 6 p.m. open, which is what this line is here. And it definitely made me uncomfortable. So it broke out. It stops around here, bursts. Now you take your reversal if you have the ability psychologically to do that. Hang in. You got to hang in 20 ticks after that kind of move. You got to use at least a 20 tick stop. And then it does start to go up. You could have gotten out on that first retrace, and then you're going to get, I think, a second retrace. First, because it goes back down. We were talking about, well, is that a good spot? Created a new low. I still thought the market might have been looking at that area. No signal yet on the squeeze. If you want to look at the 30-second squeeze chart to help you. Still no signal yet. It's not even a minute after the trade. So you still have an opportunity. And then it's going to come down here and test it again. Here it goes. So if it gets close to this red line and the PP, it's definitely riskier the second time. But that PP is a strong area. It's a strong area. And you would have taken it right about there, okay? Miraculously, it gave you another chance. Or you take it right here. Right there, you take it. Sit tight. Now, you don't have a signal. Don't have a signal yet. So I'm sure, like I was nervous. I still didn't have a signal. And I didn't want to give back my whole profit if what happened to me on crude. Crude killed me a week ago. Still don't have a signal. So still, but the reversal worked before you got the signal, which will happen sometimes with indexes like gas that move rather fast. And that was a pretty quick candle move as well. Okay. Anyway, so I wound up with a total profit on that trade of $140. $140 in 1 second. That's not bad. That's okay. It's perfectly okay. Now, the one trade I'm looking for all week that I have not been able to find, there should be a 20-year bond auction. I thought it was the 18th of December. And then I went looking for it on the U.S. government's bond page. And they said it was, first they said it was the 18th. The reason I'm interested in the bond trade is because it's potentially a good trade to trade. The 30-year bond's been profitable. The 10-year bond's been profitable. So in looking for it, but I have not been able to find the 20-year on any of the calendars. So let's look one more time this week. If it turns up for tomorrow, I'll call an extra trade room because that's a trade. It was awesome the last month it traded. And in general, it's been a really solid trade. So what I'm looking to see is, does it show up? Even if it showed up this afternoon, I would do it. See, you got the 4-week bill, you got the 8-week bill. Those have not generally moved the markets enough for us. Friday, tomorrow, British retail, be careful, doesn't move that great these days. German IFO, If you're a DAX trader, I wouldn't trade that trade anymore. It just doesn't move. Bank of England quarterly bulletin. Don't have enough data on that one. We're going to trade Canada retail to see if we get a reversal. And I don't see the 20-year bond tomorrow. Okay. So when I make my schedule, I'll look for next week to see if the US 20-year bond shows up. Like on the 22nd is the day I was expecting it. And I don't see it still. Now, if it shows up at the last minute, keep an eye on your emails. I will call a trade room. Okay. I will call a trade room for a bond report. Next week, I believe that my boss will not send very many reports. It's the week before Christmas. And yeah, I don't see that 20-year bond. So what would you do if you knew there was a bond report? How would you try to find it? So here's what I did. I just Googled the 20-year bond auction. Okay, you can see I had it in there. And it brings you to a tentative auction schedule of U.S. Treasury securities. This is the exact page that I want. And so last month, the auction date on the 20-year bond was November 18th. There definitely should be one more this year. 20-year bond, well, maybe they changed it because the last time I looked, there was one December 18th, and then it got changed to the 22nd. But now it's just showing up January 20th, and it's not showing up, 20-year bond, Monday the 21st. Monday the 21st. But it's not showing up on any of the calendars. That's the problem. The only calendar that usually shows the bond trades is investing.com out of the calendars that I use. And it's just not showing up Monday. So we have to pay attention, leave an hour open on Monday. And we have a webinar Monday, I'm pretty sure. So even if we have a webinar, I'll trade it in the middle of the webinar if it turns out that there is a 20-year bond report on Monday. It's not showing up. FX Street. You know, what I would do is I would, like a lunatic, I'll look at all the calendars, right? I'd look at all the calendars. Next week, I like FX Street, by the way. It's a very nice calendar, and I don't see it. They're not showing it either. So that's the story, trying to find the 20-year bond when it's going to take place. It will be the same time as all our bond auctions, 101.30 KW, and it looks like it'll be Monday. So I might set up, I have to talk to my bosses about the webinar we're going to do Monday and discuss that. I don't want to miss that trade. Let me show you why. I don't know why we didn't trade it live last month. It might have been because it didn't show up properly on the schedule. Let me see. So no, it wasn't October. It was not October. Bear with me, folks. You'll want to look at this. This is educational. Uh, 20-year test. I was testing Ultra bonds and I was testing ZB. And it was not September. No, I traded it, I think, with live data. Bear with me. One more check. Yes, got it. It was on 11/18. I was testing ultra bonds on the right, regular bonds on the left, ZB. And look how nicely it moved. I don't know why we didn't have a trade room for it. I don't recall. I'll have to check my journal. Put the orders on at 13:01:30, just like a regular bond trade or one of our regular auctions. And it worked really nicely on ZB. It was a little slow. It filled and it sat, and then it burst. But what was nice is it filled in the right direction. It filled in the right direction. It popped down first. Okay. It dropped down first. Now, we've been trading this 20-year bond report, so it's not like it's new. And it looks very promising. It's a new report. It's been out for less than a year. There didn't used to be a 20-year bond, I guess. I think the 20-year is a new bond. Questions? Anybody? Anybody got a question? Because this is our last room for today. Unless the 20-year bond shows up today. Check the link at the bottom of that page. Which page, Mark? Says announcement. Okay, wait a second, Mark. Hold on. The page I was just looking at. Did I miss it? Let me load it. Let me load it. Hold on. All right, so tell me what you mean. Because I'm at the bottom there, right? Let me put my charts in Sim so I don't accidentally do something foolish. Announcements and results. Today's auction results. Upcoming auctions. You're thinking that 19-year, that this is the 20-year bond, and they're calling it. Why are they calling it? I guess because of the way it expires. So you're thinking it might be today. You're thinking it might be today. Interesting. Boy, I wish it gave the time on that. Today's auction results. Okay, I thought maybe they might list it. Do you have something else that might help us, Mark? I don't see anything else. It's weird. It's funny that they call it the 19-year, but I mean, it's. You think it's Monday, huh? Well, wait, but why is it saying? I mean, on this regular report, it says Monday, but down here, wait, where did we see it? We saw it. Where the heck did we see it? Upcoming auctions, PDF format. Yeah, the 21st, the 21st, the 21st. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Auction date, the 21st. So hopefully it'll show up on the calendar. I'm going to put it on the calendar to trade Monday. Okay. I'm going to put it on the calendar to trade Monday. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. I just didn't quite see it. All right, folks. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions, folks? So I'll be working on the schedule today. We've got 1 week before the holidays. There will be some trades next week. It will not be a busy week because of the holidays. Same thing the week after. It's a good week. Maybe we'll have one general trade room just for all the new people to just bring your questions. You know, don't forget on the website, you got all the quick start stuff. There's a ton of quick start videos. There's plenty to watch. Plenty to watch. Okay. Plenty to learn on the website. I've made a ton of videos for everybody. Okay. Yes, it is the last streaming this week, Chantal. I mean, yeah, I don't see any point in streaming Canada retail. While everybody's here, let's look at the last Canada retail report. Let's see if it's worth streaming. So Canada retail was 1120, okay? And here's what it did. If it has a phenomenal move, Chantal, you're in trouble. You're going to have to get up early. Canada retail came out and it moved 1 tick, 2 ticks, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 3 ticks, 3 ticks. If a trade moving that slow goes to the high of the day, I suppose you could try a reversal there, right? Right? I mean, you're not going to make much money because it's probably not going to move much. So it went about 5 ticks. Let's see if so you take your reversal right there, right? And I didn't record long enough, so you'd have to go back on replay to tell. I mean, look, you don't have to have a big stop. You could use an 8-tick stop. Canada's $5 a tick. It's $40 if you only trade 1 contract. So you can practice reversals real cheap. That is our last stream of the week, folks. That's our last stream of the week. Okay. It's not our last trade room of the week. So I'll see everybody tomorrow at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. All right, folks. I don't see any questions. Chantal, you got 2 minutes? I'll go to Skype in 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes? All right, folks. I'll see everybody later. Tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Email me if you have any questions, and I'll see you all later. Take care. Hey, Mark, before you go, did you leave? Is the squeeze play working perfectly? I mean, should I do some serious testing also, or do you 100% comfortable? Okay. Do you realize I don't even remember the trade? I don't even remember how we used it. No joke. I haven't traded that way in so long. I have to go back and remind myself how I traded it. All right, Chantal, 5 minutes from now. Thanks, Mark. Well, it's using the reversal and the ticks above and below. That's the big difference, ticks above and below. That's to me how it differs. Sort of almost automates it in a way. I mean, it does automate it. It does automate it. Okay. I'll see everybody in the morning. Later, folks.